Number. Breaking the oldest galactic rule was their biggest mistake. Conclusion. The Galactic Council's emergency session convened just 18 hours after Kethara's unauthorized contact with Earth. The crystalline chamber vibrated with barely contained rage as Elder Morthak materialized his full presence, his ancient exoskeleton crackling with bioelectric fury. Kethara of the Dragnari Empire. His voice boomed across the cosmic distances. You stand accused of the highest crime against galactic law. Willful violation of the sacred codex. How do you answer? From her position aboard the Stellar Harmony, now in high orbit around Earth, Kethara transmitted her response with calm dignity. I answer that sometimes the greatest laws must be broken to serve the greatest good. Humanity deserves a place among the stars. You have doomed us all. Elder Zix's light form pulsed with agitation. The Codex exists because premature contact with primitive species inevitably leads to chaos. You have exposed our existence to a warlike species that hasn't even achieved interstellar travel. Observe them before you judge them, Kethara replied, transmitting real-time feeds from Earth. The images showed something unprecedented in galactic history. An entire planet mobilizing not for war, but for welcome. In the 3 days since first contact, humanity had transformed. Every major city displayed massive screens showing Kethara's ship and the images of galactic civilization. Instead of panic or demands for defense, the crowds below showed curiosity and wonder. Children held signs with mathematical equations. Scientists worked openly to decode alien technology. World leaders spoke not of invasion fears, but of the opportunities for learning and growth. Look at their response, Kethara continued. No weapons raised. No panic. No attempts to hide or destroy evidence of our contact. They face the unknown with open minds and open hearts. Elder Torgon's rocky form ground with skepticism. Pretty words. But their history speaks differently. Show the Council their wars, their environmental destruction, their weapons of mass extinction. I will, Kethara agreed. But observe how they speak of these things now. The transmission shifted to show a press conference in Geneva, where Dr. Elena Vasquez, the UN Secretary-General, addressed the world. We stand at the threshold of humanity's greatest adventure, she said, her words carried simultaneously in dozens of languages. Yes, we have made mistakes. Yes, we have fought wars and damaged our world. But we have also learned from those mistakes. We have chosen cooperation over conflict, exploration over exploitation. We offer the galaxy not a perfect species, but a learning one. The feeds showed similar scenes across Earth. Former enemies worked together to prepare for formal contact. Scientists from rival nations shared their research freely. Military leaders spoke of redirecting defense spending toward space exploration and environmental restoration. This is unprecedented, admitted Elder Yithmol, her quantum form fluctuating with uncertainty. Most species react to first contact with either worship or warfare. These humans respond with practical preparation. The transmission feed shifted again, this time to show Aurora Station, where Dr. Sarah Chen worked with an international team to establish formal communication protocols. Instead of demanding advanced technology or weapons, the human team focused on cultural exchange, language learning, and sustainable development principles. They asked the right questions, Kethara observed. Not what can you give us, but how can we contribute? Not how do we defend ourselves, but how do we prove ourselves worthy? This is the response of a maturing civilization. Elder Morthok remained unconvinced. One species cannot overturn 50,000 years of carefully maintained law. The Codex has prevented countless wars, protected developing civilizations from exploitation, and maintained galactic stability. Your sentimental attachment to these primates threatens everything we have built. Then test them, Kethara challenged. The Codex allows for evaluation trials. Give humanity a chance to prove their worthiness. If they fail, I will accept full responsibility and whatever punishment you decree. The council chamber fell silent as the elders contemplated this unprecedented situation. Never in galactic history had a species been contacted before meeting Codex requirements. Never had an ambassador deliberately violated the most sacred law of their civilization. And never had a primitive species responded to first contact with such remarkable maturity. Elder Zeke spoke first. What form would such a trial take? Standard galactic citizenship evaluation, Kethara replied immediately, having anticipated this question. Modified for their current technological level, test their diplomatic skills, their problem-solving abilities, their capacity for interspecies cooperation, and their commitment to peaceful development. Impossible, Torgun rumbled. The standard evaluation requires technologies they won't develop for centuries. How can they demonstrate interstellar diplomatic skills without interstellar travel? We bring the galaxy to them, Kethara said. A diplomatic mission representing 12 species, each presenting humanity with realistic scenarios they might face as galactic citizens. If they pass, they earn provisional membership with our guidance. If they fail, both you and your species face exile from the Council, Elder Morthok stated coldly. The Draknari Empire will lose its voting rights and representation. You personally will be stripped of all rank and authority. Are you prepared for such consequences? Kethara's forearms moved in the ancient gesture of absolute commitment. I am. But I won't need to face them. Humanity will exceed your expectations. The vote was closer this time, 6 in favor of the trial. 6 opposed. Elder Yithmol, as the senior quantum consciousness, cast the deciding vote. Let the trial proceed, she decided. But under strictest conditions. 1-year duration. No advanced technology transfers. No interference with human development beyond the trial parameters. If they demonstrate the qualities Kethara claims, provisional membership may be considered. If not, I will face the consequences willingly, Kethara confirmed. 3 months later, the most unusual diplomatic gathering in galactic history convened in Earth's orbit. 12 ships representing the major galactic civilizations took positions around Luna, each one a masterpiece of their species' technology and artistic expression. To humanity, they looked like gods descending from heaven. The trials began with a simulated trade dispute between 2 fictional star systems. Humanity's diplomatic team, led by former UN negotiators and enhanced by the world's best game theorists and cultural anthropologists, had to craft a solution that satisfied both parties while preventing economic warfare. They succeeded by proposing something no galactic civilization had tried in millennia, a resource-sharing cooperative where both systems contributed their strengths to mutual benefit rather than competing for limited resources. The second trial involved a first contact scenario where humanity had to negotiate with a hostile alien species threatening their colony world. Instead of military solutions, the human team proposed cultural exchange programs, demonstrating how apparent enemies could become allies through understanding and compromise. Trial after trial, humanity met challenges that had puzzled galactic civilizations for centuries. They showed creativity where others showed calculation. They demonstrated empathy where others showed logic. They found solutions that preserved dignity for all parties, rather than simply achieving victory for one side. But the final trial nearly broke them. The scenario involved a dying civilization whose sun was about to explode, refugees numbering in the billions, who needed immediate resettlement. The galactic community offered limited aid due to resource constraints and political complications. The human solution shocked everyone. Instead of choosing which refugees to save, they proposed a complete restructuring of galactic resource allocation. They demonstrated how current inefficiencies in resource distribution meant enough surplus existed to save everyone if civilizations worked together instead of maintaining separate economic systems. They want to reorganize the galaxy's entire economic structure, Elder Torgan observed with what might have been admiration. For refugees they've never met, from a civilization they'll never encounter. Because it's the right thing to do, Dr. Sarah Chen explained during her final presentation to the assembled galactic representatives. We understand that joining your community means accepting responsibility for its welfare. We're not just asking to be protected by galactic civilization. We're offering to help improve it. The trials concluded, with humanity scoring higher than any species in galactic history. But more importantly, They had proposed solutions to problems that had plagued the galaxy for millennia. Their fresh perspective, unburdened by ancient prejudices and traditional thinking, offered hope for addressing issues that established civilizations had considered unsolvable. Elder Morthok delivered the final verdict. Humanity has demonstrated exceptional capability and moral development. By unanimous decision of the Galactic Council, Earth is granted provisional membership in our community. Ambassador Kethara, your faith in this species has been vindicated. The Council extends its formal apologies for questioning your judgment. As the ceremony concluded and the Galactic Fleet prepared to establish permanent embassy stations in Earth orbit, Kethara allowed herself a moment of private satisfaction. She had risked everything on her belief that humanity deserved a place among the stars. Looking at Earth spinning peacefully below, its cities twinkling with the light of 8 billion dreams, suddenly made real, she realized the galaxy had gained something precious. Not just another member civilization, but a species that might help them all remember what they were meant to be. The oldest rule in galactic history had been broken. But from that breaking, something beautiful had been born. Humanity would take their place among the stars, not as subjects or supplicants, but as partners in the greatest adventure the universe had ever known. And in the years that followed, as human ingenuity helped solve ancient galactic problems, and human compassion healed old interspecies wounds, the Council would look back on Kethara's crime as the most fortunate violation of law in their civilization's history. They thought no one would arrive to welcome humanity to the stars. They were gloriously, wonderfully wrong.